Hello and welcome to Rainbow Stars channel, and today I'm going to give you guys an update. I am 36 weeks pregnant and currently looking forward to my induction date, which they're going to bring me in on Wednesday, and we're going to go through with getting me admitted, getting me going, and then hopefully he's here by October 1st. I'm gonna fill you guys in on what happened in between. I woke up one morning with a stutter, couldn't speak at all, hardly, and it was very concerning because I've never had a stutter before, and just trying to go through the motions of everything else happening. I was sitting there going, well, this is weird and strange, but what can you do? I didn't think really much of it. It was just very slight stuttering. It was after I made my last video. The next day, my stutter got even worse, and I could barely even speak. And I was like, okay, well, this is weird and strange and a little scary. I can't get my words out. It's very difficult to talk. The next day became worse. I went to a doctor. I went to the hospital because I'm sitting there thinking this isn't right. Something's very wrong. I can't speak. And they chalked it up to, oh, it's probably anxiety. You're probably anxious about this new baby. You know, you're pregnant. It's your first. You know, must be just anxiousness, anxiety, whatever. And they just sent me home. The next day, I woke up and I could not talk. I literally sounded like a snail or a sloth the way I was trying to speak. My words were slowed and slurred, and I could barely make a coherent sentence. And I told my mom that something was very wrong, and I felt like if we waited on going to a neurologist, that I would be dead. Because that's how I felt. I felt like something was very wrong to the point where I could die here. And so I went to a different hospital, somebody who might take me seriously. And so I went to Baylor Scott and White, and they said it appeared that I had a TIA. What is a TIA? It is a warning stroke. And apparently warning strokes, when they happen, the after effects can last 24 hours, or they can last a little bit less. It just depends on how fast it happens and the after effects that follow. So I'm sitting there thinking, all right, so I had a warning stroke, probably multiple, which caused the issue. What causes the warning strokes to happen? Blood clots in the body. And they go up either through the capillary or into the brain, and they're very minor, small, but it's enough to cause blood flow to be disrupted, and then it causes a misfiring in your brain, so you can't speak. It makes it really hard. And you also have the stroke-like symptoms with, you know, a limb, both limbs being affected, the droopiness on the side of the face. I had yet to catch the episode myself happening as it was happening, but they said that's what it appeared to be. So the next night, I was like, okay, well, since it's transient, it didn't cause any brain damage, no big deal. My speech will come back in time. I just have to be looking forward to that. So I thought, well, whatever. Right? But because of what was said, they wanted me to go back into the other hospital where they tried to commit me because they thought I was full of it and that it must have been anxiety. And here's the fun part. I'm talking normal now, which I was not able to speak normally for about 5 days, so I can't believe that crap. I even told them I'm not anxious. I don't feel anxious. I don't feel stressed. I'm excited about my baby. I don't know what your problem is, but what's stressing me out is that you're not taking me seriously. And you keep telling me that it's all anxiety and do I need a doctor? I was pissed. that whole situation just really ticked me off. So then I went to my appointment, my perinatal appointment, and I was still unable to speak effectively because that night before I had another TIA episode, but this one I actually caught. I woke up at 4 in the morning, could not speak, my face was practically frozen, one side of my body didn't want to work. I ended up in the bathroom, looked at my face, one whole side was drooping on the left, and I couldn't call out for help. And I thought, oh my God, I'm having a stroke. And I went back to my room, snapped a picture, because I was so tired of people not believing that something was happening at nighttime to me, that, you know, that they weren't taking me seriously. Because, and here's the deal, TIAs, they don't take them seriously because there's no damage. No brain damage, nothing to treat. Go home. But it's a big deal. You know, you could have a serious stroke from these things. You gotta be careful. And so my perinatal people decided to admit me into the labor and delivery ward for a few days for monitoring to make sure this didn't repeat or happen again. So they kept me in there for a few days, and they discovered I have tachycardia along with the other problem. So what is tachycardia? It's when your heart decides that it's going to pound faster than normal, whether you're sitting up or standing. It's basically overworking itself. It's not able to fill up the chambers completely full of blood, so it starts to freak out. And that's what my heart's doing all day. Now, when I'm laying down, my heart beats fine. But if I stand up, all of a sudden it starts to overwork, and it can't get the blood to circulate fast enough. So, there's that. Apparently, whenever I'm sitting up at rest, I am beating at 125 beats per minute just by sitting. If I stand up, that's 141 beats per minute. And that's just from standing. So my heart is not doing its job effectively. And that can actually cause blood clots, which can cause blood pressure issues. Well, it can cause two things. It can cause blood clots and blood pressure issues. And that's probably what happened with my TIA episodes, was that I was having blood clots that were being released because this heart couldn't pump effectively. So, and then you got the slurred speech, unable to talk, crazy episodes that I had. And I'll tell you what, that was the most terrifying thing ever. Absolutely terrifying experience. So, I'm looking forward to my induction, because at this point, my body is not handling this pregnancy well. It already had the cholestasis, the malfunction of the liver, and then it had the strange spike in the blood pressure where I was 172 on the blood pressure scale, which is extremely high. And that was just from standing up. Yeah, I have to be careful. I could just fall over at any minute. Like, even at home, even after they released me, they told me to use a walker, to be safe at home, to travel with assistance, because I could just pretty much fall over at any given time. But there's nothing for them to treat. They can't treat me while I'm pregnant, and they can't treat my heart while I'm pregnant. They can't treat my blood pressure while I'm pregnant, and they certainly cannot treat my brain while I'm pregnant. So they don't want to touch me until after the birth of the baby. And that's why I'm glad that we're closing in on our due date here, because if I had to go the full term, there'd be no way. My baby's about 8 pounds already. And he's, even without their assistance, I'm pretty sure he'd be coming anytime now, because he's so heavy. But yeah, I've just been having a hard go, and it was a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. I was in a hospital like every day the past week, so I have bruises on my arms and hands, and I'm just outrageously tired, and I've been trying to be compliant with all my doctor's orders, what they want me to do, but it's just been a hectic time in my life, so I've never been so freaked out. But yeah, it's been a road that we're traveling. But I was scared to come home for a while there because I didn't know if this was going to repeat itself, if I would be unable to speak again, or if I'd wake up and find myself having an actual stroke or a seizure. I didn't know. All I knew was that I was in trouble, but my baby was fine. So I still know he's okay. He's fine. My body is not. So I cannot wait to birth him into the world and get to see him and get to bring him home. And that's happening this Wednesday. I get to be admitted, and then we get to do the creams and everything else, and then the next day I will have a baby. So remember, when you view peace, love, unity, and respect, and please wish me some luck, because even as we sit here speaking, I am feeling horrible, and my chest feels like it's pitter-pattering like 1,000 miles a minute. So I'm probably going to have to lay down here in a minute because I feel really sick when it starts doing that. But I don't know what else to do about it other than deal with it until come Wednesday. It's only 3 more days, people. Wish me luck. And I'll see you guys on the flip side. Alright. Well, that catches you all up on crazy events. And let's cross our fingers I don't have any more. Alright. Bye.